Welcome to the Town of Acton Planning Board meeting for August 15, 2024 at 6 p.m. All stand for the pledge. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Designate Roger Kroll and Andrew Johnson for my alternates tonight. Last meeting got a table July 18th, and we have the people here that are present that were here.
I move that we accept the meeting minutes from July 18th as submitted.
A second.
All in favor? All opposed? All right, did everybody get a chance to look at the August 1st minutes?
I move we accept the August 1st meeting minutes as written.
Second. All in favor? All opposed? All right, we have no old business tonight. Anyone going to start a new business? Just a roundtable discussion related to amendments to IP zoning ordinance. So if anyone has any ideas? Just a roundtable discussion on ideas for ordinances. Ordinance changes.
So we had talked, it was a month or two, a couple months ago, the amendment with North Star. Right now, I still haven't gotten anything back. I was supposed to email them today, I forgot. About they were supposed to look into the subdivision regulations to see make sure that they were good, if they were up to standards, snuff. And it was really, so I know we had talked a little bit last time about some possibilities of things, what to amend, and if we were going to do anything. I wasn't sure if anybody gave any more thought to those.
Well, my position, I think there was some administrative type things North Star was looking at, and so we certainly
Just waiting on them.
when they come back, we can certainly look at that.
Yep.
And I think we've addressed timely issues that have come up over the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Short-term rentals and solar, mining, things that have come up.
Right.
I'm a little loath to just go off and do something else until we have
No, I agree.
comprehensive plan.
Well, that's not, unfortunately, that's not going to happen for a while. I understand what you're saying.
I'm not going to propose anything to
Right.
with the town.
And so right now, Chris had brought it up earlier. He had asked about recreational facilities selling marijuana and stuff like that. Should we put that in our land use charts? Just maybe, I know we didn't opt in, so it's not allowed no matter what. So if somebody calls my office and says, hey, can I buy a piece of property at such and such and put up a store to sell recreational or medical, my first answer to them is automatically no. But I didn't know if it was something the board wanted to just put in the land use chart under commercial uses. I don't know if it's something we need to do. That was just a suggestion. But as of right now, I just say it's not allowed. So, and you can go on the state website, and it gives you a list of opt-in state towns, municipalities, and stuff like that.
So what would you put in the chart if it's not allowed?
It would just go under
It
there.
would just put no right across the board.
I think it's just redundant.
Yeah. Okay. I was just asking. Sometimes it might help with clarification. I don't even have to get the phone call.
I don't think it's a bad idea, because people come in town, and they have to come and they have to ask you. So you can just look it up and see it in black and white.
People are going to
I think, so the general philosophy behind these documents is it one of those things where we take the approach of it's not allowed unless it's written in here, or everything's allowed unless
It's not allowed.
explicitly
So what I've been told and how I understand it is if it's not in there, it's not allowed, pretty much. But they also put things in here, if you look at our ordinance, I don't have it on me right now, but there is similar uses too, like you'll have a section that says,
There are things you can interpret.
yeah, it leaves, there's gaps in the ordinance to leave it for myself and the board for interpretation. So yes, if it's not in there, it's not allowed, but it also makes it so that it allows you to interpret it, to put it in there if you want. You know, I don't know how to say that,
Yeah.
without contradicting myself.
No, but that's actually something I want to make sure that we as the board are all on the same page with when it comes to these governing documents.
Mhm.
If it's not written in here, it's not allowed unless we can come up with a reasonable interpretation.
Like, I mean, so for
It's
instance,
professional
Do it and take costs,
services, right? The sign that says professional services.
Correct.
And it's broken down by square footage. And that's a broad category.
Right,
That
sure.
covers a lot of things.
Sure. Okay.
but if someone said, hey, I'd like to put in a water park, you know, it doesn't, obviously my ordinance doesn't actually address water parks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where you would interpret it into
There's
one of these
recreation
facilities.
services.
Well, yeah, we had one for bed and breakfast, which is, we don't have anything for, I don't think we have anything for motels, hotels, or anything like that. What is that? All I heard is blah, 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 and a bunch of giggles.
But on that same note, that might be something that I would ask North Star as they're continuing to peruse and make those administrative changes to kind of make sure the language is basically in line, all in line with the negative.
So one of these scenarios did come up, and I did ask North Star about it, and Ben Smith to be exact, and that's when he came and said, well, that's when he said, well, this is why he feels that they did this in the past, because it leaves it open for interpretation or for placing stuff in there. It's kind of how he put it to me. Like professional and business services having less than 2,500 square feet of gross floor area. And it has one that has more than 2,500 square feet, does not include home occupation. This.
Did we get the new books yet? Is this the new
This is the new
book?
book, yeah. The green one.
I thought we changed the earth moving.
You did.
In page 16, 275. I thought those simplified.
Oh, so you did 99 and under, then 100 to 499, then you did anything 500 to 599, and then 1,000 and up, because it used to be 10,000 and up.
Okay, that's somehow I remember it. Okay.
Do you have an idea, Pat?
I was wondering, and I've asked this question before, about the zoning and how many acres you need. A minimum of 2 in most parts of town. Where I live, it's 5.
Critical rule is 5.
Yep. So, in light of applicants that have come over and over again to the board about development around the lakes, the lakes seem to me, in my personal opinion, to be more critical.
So you also have, the lakes also have, you have to have 250 feet of road frontage, and then you also have to have 250 feet of shore frontage. You're not going to get that almost anywhere. Half the lake frontage now, I think you're lucky to see 150. Most of them, a lot of these lots are 50. But to make a new shorefront lot, it has to be 250 feet of shore frontage.
Not just necessarily shorefront, it's development around the lakes, where the water's coming down and affecting the lakes?
That's why there's stormwater management plans.
Just what I'm thinking.
What were your headed?
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of on the, I'm kind of with John. I'm hesitant to make any drastic changes to this before we really push for at least the beginning of the process of a new comprehensive plan, so that it's not that, the cart leading the horse kind of thing.
Yeah, I did bring that up at the selectmen's meeting, after I met with you guys about all of it. I haven't heard anything back from it, I haven't circled back to it, which I can do that. I did see though that they had, somebody had taken out of an archive, pretty much, there's a comprehensive book. There was a box of them, so I think they might have looked into it, I just don't know what happened with it, so.
Okay.
We can
I'll
put
circle
them on the
back.
spot Right now.
I'll circle back with it. I don't know if Jen just had grabbed it for them, but I'll circle back with them and ask them if there's been any conversation about it.
We can put
Do
one
you
on the
know?
spot right now.
As a full board conversation, I am not aware of
Okay.
anything around a comprehensive plan. I know it's been brought up in a couple of meetings, but I mean, I don't know if it's my place to speak, but I don't know if a recommendation from this committee to the board that we look into it would carry any weight, but it might bring attention to it that you folks feel there is a need for this plan. I don't feel like you're the only committee that might feel that need as well. And maybe if we get that response, it might prompt us into action.
We've told the board for 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's significantly out of date. You're supposed to have one every 10 years, and ours is now
I guess
20 years old.
it's like 2005, or,
Yeah.
I don't know. 'cause
Oh, five, that's 2005.
I read it as kind of part of the Conservation Enforcement Committee, because they are also thinking about the need for that plan, which is why I'm thinking maybe if a couple committees would come forward and make kind of a formal recommendation
Yep.
and have the chair bring it and say, we feel that in order to continue our work.
I know it's a multi-year plan, it's something that doesn't happen overnight. It has to, you guys have to form a committee, that's what it all worked on, then it has to get sent to the state has to approve it, then it comes back, and then it has to be adopted, which, I mean, let's get the process starting as soon as possible, the sooner you do it, the better.
No, that's right.
So I can always, Dan knows about it, but I always can come and address, and Chris can address the board at any of these selectmen's meetings too. Or you guys, anybody can, really.
Yeah, I'd like to get the ball rolling. I'll come to a meeting too with you or whatever. And if, like, if a few of the committee, because it really should be a committee formed of select members from the various committees to kind of help form the suggestion for the selectmen to peruse over and ultimately make the decision on it. And that's how that should go, because the town's growing, right? Developments happen all the time. People want to move here, may or may not be able to. Businesses want to come here, may or may not be able to. And I just foresee something, if we don't kind of take some charge of how we want things to form, it's going to move basically out of the town's control, more or less, eventually. And so that's why I think if we have this, the committees can keep an eye towards the future when developing their plans and changes to ordinances and whatnot. Anyway, so yeah, when's the next meeting? Next Wednesday?
Every Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, right?
Every Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly, so.
Actually, we started working on it, and Rubber did not to.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
You
so,
know, Acton's out of compliance.
Well, we're
Other
told
towns
we
have
could
done
work
it.
on it.
Yeah.
They should
Way-
as well.
I don't even think Shapley has one.
Well, you have to opt,
You don't
you
have-
have to opt into it.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how it works, but not all municipalities have to have that. Not all municipalities have it. I don't know if it's how many residents, I don't know the whole theory behind it, but I know where I live, we don't have one.
I thought it was required.
I don't know how it works. I know Shapley had worked on it and it never, I don't think it got sent to the state and then I don't know, I'm speculating here. I think I heard it got turned down or something like that, or it had to be, they had to do something else with it. And I could be completely misspeaking, I'm not even sure, but I was told that my town doesn't have a comprehensive plan.
Well, yeah, when this was done, only 12% of the Acton residents responded to the survey, so we have to get anyone, if they have started something, have to
Didn't
get
have
more of it.
computers then.
What? And probably out of the 12%, 6% are no longer with us. So, I don't know. Hand a survey out at the town meeting or something. Figure out what. Since we had a record turnout this year.
It's out of our hands.
Yeah.
It's up to the selectmen. So there we are.
Yeah. No, bring it up.
Okay. So I'm expecting the preliminary subdivision plan to be, I was hoping to have it tonight, but their 14-day limit is next Thursday. So I'm gonna email them tomorrow and ask them to get it to me before Wednesday, so that at least I can get it to you guys before, yeah, I can give you guys a call and say, hey, you can come and pick it up. But in my regulations, it says that the application needs to be submitted 14 days prior. Doesn't have to say it's in your hands, but as I said, it's been submitted, you know, so as long as they get it to me by Thursday, then the plan is to have Martell Estates on subdivision on the agenda for September 5th meeting, and as of right now, that's it, but we have another couple weeks before we close the agenda. That's all I can really say about that application.
Can I ask you a question about that?
I can answer it if I'm allowed to, so go ahead and ask.
That's why I said I don't know if I can ask it. I was reading that there were documents that are available at the state level. Would you have those with regard to?
As regards to, I guess, what documents? You have
They
the
were
DEP,
submitted-
you have the submitted DEP.
I'm talking
documents.
about like a profile of the road cut.
I don't have any of
Profile
that.
of,
I don't, so they're gonna submit all that next week.
but we're supposed to have, I guess it's not the road cut, it's the water, what am I trying to say, John? Stormwater management
So, oh, sorry.
with all the different,
I don't have any of the information, but I think you have all that stuff already. Stormwater, you should have the DEP thing, I thought you
there's
I
no
thought you submitted.
map in there, there's
Oh,
no, it's described, but it's very vague.
Um,
And then it makes a statement.
If that's something you want, you can probably go and grab it.
Well, will that change?
I think everybody should see
That
that.
would change.
You
if
can
we-
ask the applicant to provide it to you.
If we don't
That
give
is,
them
that's a document that you have, it's incomplete, it's in your, if you feel it's a a document that's necessity or necessary, then ask for it. They'll provide it to you. They have, you know, if that's what you want.
Would that change though if we do the waiver for the 8%, 10%?
I'm assuming everything's gonna change, yes, and I think that's what they're trying to figure out right now, but I don't, yeah.
If they do the 10%, it's up higher.
We will stop talking about
Yeah,
this
that's
because
just-
the applicant's not in front of us.
Well, no, I know.
That's why I really didn't want to entertain the question, but this is something that, if you want the maps, you can call up the DEP and see if you can get it. But I would suggest you just ask the applicant or the engineers to provide you with a copy of it because that's readily available
Hopefully
to
they'll
them.
come with it then.
Yeah,
I think that's a perfectly good request to ask them to provide you with. But yeah, find out. You know, if that's something that you want, we can. I can even email the engineering firm and say, hey, if you have this, bring it to them. Add it to the package if they haven't already. I don't know what they're doing. I haven't seen it. All I have was the same stuff that you guys had from the submission from the last time, so.
Okay.
Dave, do you have any concerns?
Just taking notes.
Anything else, guys? No?
So we're just gonna wait on North Star, and then, even with the changes, we're just gonna wait for North Star on the zoning changes, see what they have to come back to say, and then we're not gonna add anything because of, and I'm fine with that, I have no qualms about that at all.
Like that, if you want to draft something up, we can certainly consider it for your issue. But like I said, I don't have anything else. We done?
Can we all do that?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Short and sweet.
Opposed? No.